Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode in the Criminal Mastermind Challenge series. As you've already seen from the previous episode, we did complete the Criminal Mastermind Challenge and you saw the Pacific Standard finale just in the last episode, in episode 19. This is kind of a little bit of a roundup of what we've seen, just a general commentary, because the Criminal Mastermind Challenge is a pretty incredible experience. Going through it and actually doing it is quite an amazing experience to do, and I would say that it's one of the best things that Rockstar have really implemented, because it is very difficult and it requires a lot of teamwork. And yeah, I just wanted to have a bit of a sort of reflection over it, make a video just to finish off the series nicely. And it kind of gives us 20 episodes in the series as well, which is just absolutely perfect. So I think a few people throughout the course of the series weren't aware of the whole idea of this Criminal Mastermind Challenge as they were watching. They were leaving some comments that I was thinking, well, if you watched the intro video really did explain all of it. But all of the footage that you have watched for this series is reasonably old. We did this, I think it was around April or May, something like that, this year. Obviously now it's the end of August. It's taken 10 weeks to get this series out entirely, just releasing 2 videos every week. But it also took quite a while to edit it all together with all of the different perspectives and all that kind of stuff. And it took me a while to even figure out that I was going to put it up on my channel. So it is quite old footage. It was quite a while ago that we did this. And I would say that for me personally, I'm certainly a lot better at heists now than what I was back then. All of us at that point were pretty much amateurs to it, I would say. At the time, my heisting abilities weren't all that great. I'd done all of the heists in the first 2 days that they came out, so I could unlock all the vehicles and then test them for the fully upgraded car testing videos. So that was my only real experience of heists. And then, apart from the odd 1 or 2 setup missions here and there, I went straight into the Criminal Mastermind Challenge. So, we were all pretty much amateurs. I think Futuro had done a few more, but ultimately we didn't know all these advanced tactics. For me now, especially after the double money for the Pacific Standard job, I must have done the Pacific Standard heist around 10 times now during that double money experience, and I know a lot better ways to do it, and I'm much more confident with it now than what I was back then, because it was only really the second time that I'd ever done it. So also what you're watching on the screen right now is actually the first time that I ever did the 5th heist, the Pacific Standard job. So just some highlights here, and you'll see certainly by the end why I was so sort of wary of using the bikes, because there's a certain clip in here where we go off the end. I'm doing this with Tony as well, and Tony's bike hits my parachute and then I die right at the end. So that was pretty much my only experience of heists going into the Criminal Mastermind Challenge. If I did it now, if I was to load up the Criminal Mastermind Challenge now, I would consider it to be much easier of a prospect compared to what it was back then, just because I know the heists a lot better. I'm much more confident with everything to do with heists now, and certainly the Pacific Standard finale, I find it even easy just doing it on the bikes rather than the Kuruma. So it is all about that experience, and I would say that I would recommend anybody who does the Criminal Mastermind Challenge to at least play the heists, each heist, a good couple of times before so you feel confident with what you're doing. We certainly didn't do that, but I think that also made it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more entertaining. As I mentioned in the intro video, this happened over the space of 2 days, 2 very long streams, the first half and then the second half. And I think that added to the experience, because it made us all tense, it made us all a little bit unsure of what we were doing. And it kind of, it was in the early days of heists where people weren't necessarily as confident in them as they are today. So I think it was good to do it at that stage as well, because it gave that bit of a better experience of, feeling really nervous by the end, and you got the highs and the lows of the whole challenge. And it is one of those challenges where it does bring out all sorts of emotions when you're going through it. You can get frustrated, you can get angry, you can have all of the good emotions as well when you complete it or do something well. Tiredness, it makes you quite tired when you're going through it all, especially when you're doing it in such a 2 very long sessions like we did. It was just a great experience, and it's one of the things that I would thank Rockstar for implementing in the game, because it brought us these sort of great videos that I don't know whether anybody watched all of it or watched all of the streams, but to go through all of it, say 10 hours of playing with the same people to get this one thing done. It was a great experience, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the series as well, with the different perspectives and all that kind of stuff, because it did take quite a bit of effort to edit it all together. So now that it's finished, this also kind of ends the long period of one video every day on my channel. So at the very start of this series, I basically said that I would be uploading 2 of these every week, and throughout that whole period I would also be uploading 1 video every day to my channel, and I've stuck by that, and I'm surprised that I have, because that's something that's very difficult for me to do, especially with the kind of videos that I make. They're very in-depth, they take quite a while to do. Yes, I have mixed in a little bit more live gameplay, but also the fact that I do other things outside of YouTube, like I have a job and all that kind of stuff as well. I have been surprised that I've been able to stick to that, and I'm pretty happy with this whole period. I've uploaded 70 videos over the space of 10 weeks, and it's been great to do something a little bit different like that. But I don't necessarily think that it does suit my channel as much as it sort of suits other channels, other gaming channels, because I do prefer to make one in-depth video and release it, and then wait a few days and then make another in-depth video, rather than just focusing on putting out a video every single day for the sake of putting out a video every single day. So it has been a good period, and I've really enjoyed making videos every single day and uploading every day. But I'm not going to continue it after these sort of 10 weeks. After, I think there's one more video tomorrow after you're watching this, which will kind of end that whole 1 video every day for the course of 10 weeks period. And I'm going to go back to the rule that I pretty much always had from the very start of YouTube, which is I'm going to upload 1 video every 3 days as a bare minimum. So if it gets to 3 days and there's no video from me, you can guarantee that there will be one then. Normally, if I've got a lot to say, there'll be 1 video every 2 days, or I'm not saying that there won't be periods where I have 1 video every day either as well, but I like to have that little bit of flexibility so I can sort of do what I want, rather than being forced into making sure I get a video out every single day. So yeah, it's been a great experience these past sort of 10 weeks of uploading every single day and uploading this Criminal Mastermind challenge twice a week. The Criminal Mastermind challenge itself was a great experience. It was certainly a lot better than the first time that I did the heists, and you're always dying all the time, and you get frustrated because you die. You're dying, and you have to go back and replay certain sections, as you're probably seeing. You've seen on the screen throughout the course of this video. The convoy job, we had to restart that multiple times the first time that we ever did it. So yeah, and it was a great experience to do, and I would certainly recommend, if you can find a team to do it, or even just some friends as well. You don't necessarily have to be the best at the game to be able to do it, and we proved that, because we were terrible at some stages, but you can put some practice in, you can learn the heists. I would imagine that everybody in general now is a lot better at heists than what we were back then. So I would certainly recommend doing the Criminal Mastermind challenge if I were you, because it's just a great experience. You get 10 million at the end of it, yeah, that's great, but the whole experience of doing it, and those tense final moments, that final run to the dinghy at the end of the Pacific Standard finale, that is so tense, and you probably saw it in the video a couple of days ago. because any single mistake and that's it, 10 hours of work is all over and you've got to go all the way to the back, and you're so close to the end, you're really tense, your palms are sweating. But it's just when you get past that finish line and you're seeing those cutscenes and you get that 10 million pop up on the screen, it's just fantastic. So I would certainly recommend anybody doing it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. I don't think it's necessarily been my most watched, but that's because they are very, very long videos. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you haven't seen the whole series, feel free to go and watch that whenever you want. But it will always be here on my channel as kind of a sort of record of just a great challenge that we did. And I just want to thank my other 3 teammates, Danny, Futuro and Shaggy, for allowing me to use their footage for this series, because I do think it did add a little bit extra to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave all your comments down below about what you thought about the whole challenge and this whole general 10-week period where I've been sort of uploading every day. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.